We're now less than 2 weeks away from Glory in Giza, where heavyweight champ Oleksandr Usyk will be taking on kickboxing heavyweight champion Rico Verhoeven in front of the Great Pyramids of Giza. Before we get into the undercard in English.
There you go.
In English, it's called undercard. In analyzing something unusual as this event, it may be useful to look at other unusual matchups throughout boxing history that share certain characteristics with Usyk and Verhoeven, to see if they can shed some light on what is possible here. Okay, let's start with the biggest upset in heavyweight history. For context, Rico Verhoeven is about a 30-1 underdog.
Hey.
When Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson, he was a 42-1 underdog. Hasim Rahman was a 16-1 long shot when he knocked out Lennox Lewis. Andy Ruiz was 14-1 when he stopped Anthony Joshua. Corey Sanders was 10-1 against Vladimir Klitschko. But in each of these cases, the guy pulling the upset was an experienced world-class boxer. So guys, the odds makers have Verhoeven somewhere between Buster Douglas and Hasim Rahman in terms of the odds against. And a big factor in those odds were who they were up against. Not like Buster Douglas was fighting anyone. He was fighting a prime Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
You know, Hasim Rahman is fighting a prime Lennox Lewis. Verhoeven is not as accomplished a boxer as Douglas or Rahman. So do these odds suggest that Usyk is seen as more beatable than Tyson or Lewis?
Rico is widely considered the greatest heavyweight kickboxer of all time. Now that is amazing in itself.
Yeah, super.
And what you've done is incredible. But do you have confidence or intrigue, Simon, that Rico will reinvent himself under the tutelage of Peter Fury and on the night surprise the world by putting Usyk away?
I'd be surprised. I mean, listen, I like his confidence, but then he's a winner. He wins in his sport. He dominates his sport. He's going into this because he's an athlete. I think Usyk is not just your average fighter. He's not just someone that can hit. He is probably the most balanced, skillful fighter that we've seen for a very long time, and that adds a completely different dimension. If he was going in with a banger like Anthony Joshua, I think to myself, well, maybe, possibly. Even then, I think unlikely. I don't think so. I'd be surprised. But the rest of the heavyweight division will have to hold their head in.
The showdown between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven is drawing closer, and fans across the combat sports world are buzzing with anticipation. Two dominant champions from completely different arenas are preparing to collide in a battle filled with skill, strength, and major question marks. Will Usyk's elite boxing technique be enough to handle Verhoeven's massive size and devastating power? Or will the reigning kickboxing giant prove simply too powerful to overcome? The debate is split right down the middle, and excitement continues to build as fight night approaches.
I'm going to try and word what Eddie Hearn just said to us about this, right?
Cool.
Without misquoting him. He said, for someone like Rico, you have to be a bit crazy to think that you can go in there and beat Oleksandr Usyk in your first boxing fight. But he believes that Rico does think that. So I don't know if he used the word crazy or not, but that kind of analogy, you have to be a little bit whatever to believe you're going to go in there and beat Usyk, but he believes that Rico does think that. So, yeah. So there was kind of a hidden compliment in there somewhere, but basically you'll be a bit tapped to go in there with Usyk for your first fight.
Let me tell you, he's having a good camp. He's responding well to his training. And listen, when you're up against somebody like Usyk, who can say anybody's going to beat this man? Nobody can they?
Well, no one has, so...
No one has, so who can anybody say they're going to beat him? But there's one thing for sure. Has Rico got as good a chance as any past heavyweight he's boxed? Yes.
According to Max Kellerman, the upcoming clash between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven could be far more dangerous than many people realize. While some fans continue to label this as Verhoeven's professional boxing debut, Kellerman pointed out that the Dutch powerhouse has already spent years competing at the highest level in professional kickboxing. He even compared the matchup to Floyd Patterson defending his heavyweight crown against Olympic gold medalist Pete Rodemacher, a fight where Patterson was unexpectedly dropped early. But unlike Rodemacher, Verhoeven isn't stepping into combat sports without experience, which is exactly why this crossover showdown with Usyk has become such a fascinating and unpredictable contest.
Usyk and Verhoeven The heavyweight champion of the world is taking on a guy making his pro boxing debut.
Second fight.
What's that?
Yeah, one fight. Bro.
Okay, let's say second fight, right. You're right.
The cop is back.
Once upon a time, Floyd Patterson, who was heavyweight champion,
Or Patterson.
defended the heavyweight title against the guy making his pro debut, Pete Rodemaker. By the way, just so you know, Mike, Verhoeven's had a professional fight before, so it's not his pro debut.
What I was saying.
Yeah, edit that to make it look like Mike didn't know what he was talking about. Was the Olympic, but Rodemaker was the Olympic heavyweight gold medalist and scored a knockdown before ultimately getting knocked out. He did score a knockdown. He had a boxing background, right? Olympic gold medal. Verhoeven's a kickboxer. So it's not just that he has experience fighting professionally, but he comes from a striking discipline.
In addition, Max Kellerman and several analysts believe Rico Verhoeven could create serious problems for Oleksandr Usyk in the early rounds of the contest. Much of that concern comes from Verhoeven's unusual punch delivery and the awkward angles he tends to attack from. Experts explain that athletes with a kickboxing background often bring a completely different rhythm and movement style compared to traditional boxers. That unpredictability alone can make the opening stages difficult for even the most seasoned champion. Still, most analysts expect Usyk's elite ring IQ, composure, and technical brilliance to eventually help him adjust and take control as the fight progresses.
Also, too, when you're a guy that's so accomplished like Usyk, and then you're fighting a guy that is only his second pro fight, and he's doing a bunch of punching from weird angles. So it can be a little embarrassing because it's not the same. It's not the basic boxing style. Yeah, so you probably get hit with weird shots that are coming from all crazy angles. Him stepping off, so it could probably present complications for Usyk.
It's like the Ricardo Mayorga.
Yeah.
Can I ask you this thing? So if that happens, right, and he gets hit with different angles, now the experienced boxer, the real champion, is gonna whoop.
Yeah,
his
once
ass.
Usyk get in his bag.
Once you hit me and I get a little embarrassed, all right, let me show you why it's different. I don't see this fight as even being competitive, to be honest, because like Tyson,
it would be a big win for Verhoeven if it is competitive. Verhoeven has more paths to victory. He can win the event in more different ways than Usyk because he doesn't have to technically win in order.
Continuing his admiration for Oleksandr Usyk, Max Kellerman described him as one of the most respected and admired fighters in modern boxing. Kellerman emphasized that Usyk has earned the reputation of being a fighter's favorite fighter, praised not only by fans but also by fellow boxers and trainers throughout the sport. He highlighted Usyk's incredible talent, elite technical ability, and the deep respect he receives from athletes, coaches, and boxing enthusiasts alike, saying competitors of his caliber rarely appear in the boxing world. Kellerman also pointed to Usyk's personality outside the ring, mentioning his sense of humor, humility, and down-to-earth attitude as major reasons why he remains so popular both within the sport and beyond it.
Usyk is your favorite fighter's favorite fighter.
yes.
He has a great I can't remember the last time a guy was so universally loved in a sport as Usyk. He's as real as it gets. He's as skilled as it gets. All the athletes respect him. All the technicians respect him. All the warriors respect him. The media respects him. The fans love him. This is like one of the most likable guys ever in boxing. Okay, I just wanted to say that. And he's got a sense of humor and everything. Is Tyson Fury the best talker in boxing since Muhammad Ali?
Then Rico Verhoeven made it clear that he has no doubts about his ability to compete with Oleksandr Usyk, confidently stating that he can step into the boxing world and challenge Usyk on his own ground. Verhoeven believes that although Usyk has spent years perfecting the fundamentals and patterns of elite boxing, his own kickboxing background offers a completely different tempo and style. According to Rico, the unusual angles, movement, and unpredictable rhythm he brings into the fight are things traditional boxers rarely deal with. He feels that unfamiliar approach could disrupt Usyk's timing, push him out of his comfort zone, and create challenges that previous opponents haven't managed to present.
If Usyk came into your area, kickboxing, as you said moments ago, you would destroy him?
Yeah. Because
but you feel comfortable going into his territory and getting the gloves on. Can you possibly think of destroying him?
100%, of course. Yeah, of course. I totally understand.
No one's come close, Rico.
I know. So what an opportunity I have. Because what do I bring different to the table is I'm coming with kickboxing angles. and he's been dissecting the boxing game since I don't know what age he started. But that's how he does it. But the kickboxing game and the kickboxing angles are different. He hasn't seen that before.
Rico Verhoeven also pushed back strongly against the criticism surrounding his toughness and ability to handle a fighter like Oleksandr Usyk. He pointed out that even top-level opponents have struggled to truly hurt Usyk inside the ring, while confidently reminding everyone that he himself has never been knocked down throughout his fighting career. Verhoeven dismissed the idea that he could easily be exposed or broken under pressure, insisting that his durability has already been proven over years of competition. To Rico, this matchup represents a perfect opportunity to shock the combat sports world, silence the doubters, and rise to the occasion on one of the biggest stages of his career.
Of course.
I think he's only been knocked down once. He's never been knocked, and that was a low blow. He's never been knocked down. You're going to have to go some, Rico.
Oh, what an opportunity I have here. I'm going to shock the world in front of the pyramids in this crazy scene. It's like, oh my God, I love it. That's why I'm so excited.
I mean, tell me about your punch power. What is your knockout capacity? I mean, you can see Usyk in front of you.
I'm always like very calculated. But yeah, when I connect. Like I said, there's a lot of...
Rico Verhoeven completely brushed off questions about feeling intimidated ahead of his showdown with Oleksandr Usyk, making it clear that fear has no place in his mindset. Rico explained that after spending years facing dangerous opponents in kickboxing, he has become used to hearing endless talk about unbeatable fighters. In his eyes, every competitor is still just a man with strengths and weaknesses like anyone else. Verhoeven stated that when he steps into the ring with Usyk, he will see him as an equal rather than an untouchable champion. He also emphasized that once fight night arrives, only one question will matter: which fighter can prove he is superior and deliver performance worthy of the entire world watching?
I mean, you're supremely confident. I was watching you talk to Simon during the break. I mean, you can't... He's not short in confidence, Simon.
Because he wins everything.
Are you worried that you might get embarrassed on the night over in Egypt?
No. Why?
Because it's Usyk, Rico.
I know, but he's for me. I totally understand where you're coming from, but to me, like, I've been fighting, like I said, my whole life, and then within the sport of kickboxing, I've been facing all these guys. Oh, Rico, you're facing this guy. This guy's he's been knocking out people like dominoes. Said, okay, but to me, he's just a man with 2 arms and 2 legs, and for him, I'm the same. We're gonna cross paths. We're gonna have fun within that ring. We're gonna put up a show.
Simon Jordan admitted he would be stunned if Rico Verhoeven managed to completely transform himself under the coaching of Peter Fury and pull off a shocking victory over Oleksandr Usyk. Although Jordan praised Rico's dominance in kickboxing and his relentless competitive mentality, he emphasized that professional boxing is an entirely different world, especially when facing a fighter as polished and complete as Usyk. He described Usyk as one of the most technically gifted heavyweights of this era, a boxer with far more dimensions than simply power punching. Jordan even noted that he favored Usyk against dangerous heavyweight punchers like Anthony Joshua, making the possibility of Verhoeven causing an upset seem extremely difficult in his eyes. Meanwhile, Peter Fury acknowledged that Rico is diving straight into the toughest possible challenge by facing someone of Usyk's caliber. Fury admitted the task looks incredibly difficult from the outside, and even joked that he might need divine inspiration to discover the perfect strategy. Still, he made it clear that Verhoeven is not running from the pressure, he's embracing it fully. Fury compared the situation to being thrown directly into elite heavyweight boxing without any gradual build-up, showing just how massive the adjustment really is. Despite that, he praised Rico's athleticism, mentality, and ability to adapt, arguing that while Usyk absolutely deserved to be the favorite, writing Verhoeven off completely would be a mistake because the fight could become far more competitive than many people expect. Fury also suggested that believing a fighter could walk into his very first professional boxing match and defeat someone like Usyk requires an incredibly bold mindset. Even so, he acknowledged that Rico genuinely carries that confidence within himself. He continued to stress that this remains a gigantic leap in competition against an undefeated champion who nobody has truly figured out so far. At the same time, Fury complimented Verhoeven's preparation and the progress he has shown in training camp, while reminding fans that Usyk remains one of the hardest puzzles in combat sports today. Still, Fury concluded that if there is any heavyweight capable of presenting a serious threat, Rico deserves to be considered among the most dangerous challenges Usyk had faced, and on top of that, Ajit Cabell stated a potential showdown between Usyk and Verhoeven could become one of the biggest attractions in combat sports, possibly generating even more worldwide curiosity than fights involving stars like Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua. He explained that a victory in such a crossover event would further strengthen Usyk's already legendary legacy, while also opening the door to even bigger opportunities. Cabell also highlighted the enormous business side of the matchup, saying a fight of this magnitude could easily fill an entire stadium in Germany due to the huge fan interest and spectacle surrounding it. So if this massive crossover battle actually becomes reality, who walks away victorious? Oleksandr Usyk or Rico Verhoeven? Share your prediction in the comment below and tell us who you think wins this blockbuster showdown. And make sure to subscribe for more fight analysis, heated debates, and all the latest updates as this story continues to build momentum.